The library really used to be the heart of our lab. It was one of the most lively places there, where everyone used to go there to read scientific articles. Today, of course, it's a little bit deserted because now we just go online to read articles. We don't need to go there anymore. What's really fascinating is that behind all those volumes actually hides, 100 years of physics. One of the most popular formats of articles in our community with physicists is called a letter. A letter is a very simple format. It's 4 pages long, and the thing is that you have to constrain yourself within these very strict formats to announce a discovery that is often very important, but you have to announce it in a very few words, of course. For example, Bose-Einstein condensation, which was Nobel Prize in 2011, was only 4 pages long. Or let's say quantum decoherence, 4 pages too, Nobel Prize in 2012. Even Higgs boson, which was Nobel Prize last year, was only 2 pages long. So even major discoveries have to fit these 4 pages. Every letter follows exactly the same pattern. You have the title first. How do you pack just 2 years of research in less than 10 words? So of course you end up with really tedious titles. And then you have the author's list, everyone who had a part in the article. And then you have the abstract, which sums up in a few lines all the article. Then you have an introduction, which summarizes what's been done before the article. And then you have the article itself, which describes the results and how new they are. And finally, you have a list of bibliographic references. That kind of article usually features 3 or 4 graphs max. So you have to realize that these graphs have to sum up a massive amount of data collected over the years. Each point represents hours, days, even months of work. Therefore, selecting each of these points is really a dilemma for the physicists because we would like to show everything, and of course we cannot.
Pour simplifier, l'objectif de ces recherches, c'était d'observer les propriétés d'un liquide quand il est entre 2 surfaces de verre très proches l'une de l'autre. Ce qu'on fait, c'est que on force l'écoulement d'un liquide entre une sphère et un plan. Ce dont on s'est rendu compte, c'est que quand la bille devient très proche du plan, ça devient plus facile de déformer le plan que de faire s'écouler le liquide. On sort la formule. Quelqu'un la connaît par cœur? Non, personne la connaît par cœur. Attends, je l'ai. Donc on sort nos ordi. Ah oui, c'est là. Donc voilà. Qui connaît le module élastique du verre? Ça doit être le gigapascal. Non, le 10 gigapascal. Ouais, mais 10 gigapascal, ça en dépend faiblement. C'est l'ordre de grandeur, ça nous dira. Ah bah ouais, c'est ça. On est en train de déformer le verre. Ah ouais. Et là, je dis, oh, bah ça fait quand même le titre d'un article. Ça fait Picometric Deformation of Glass by a Liquid. Ça c'est un article qui a de la gueule. Il faut publier ça.
So here is how the publication process goes. You take your paper and you send it to a journal. And the editor receives it and sends it to 3 other physicists. They're anonymous, so you call them referee A, referee B, and referee C. And a couple of months later, they will give their opinion. And according to it, the editor can decide to publish it, not to publish it, or just to keep on discussing with the referees. And that process can go on for a while, until eventually everyone agrees upon whether the article is accepted for publication or not.
Cette phase est vraiment longue dans notre cas. 4 mois, 5 mois. On se soumet à Science. Alors Science...
Non.
Il dit non, c'est très bien, mais c'est pas pour Science. Bon, alors on essaye Nature. Nature nous dit la même chose. On essaye Nature Materials, qui est un peu moins bien, et qui nous disent la même chose. Donc au bout d'un moment, j'avoue que on commence à en avoir ras-le-bol, être un peu désespéré. Enfin, désespéré non, mais se dire bon... Et on se dit, bon, on va essayer une bonne revue de physique. Très bonne revue de physique, un truc où là, quand même, on pense que ça doit passer. On arrive à une version qui nous plaît, on change le titre et puis on l'envoie. Et là, notre papier est accepté. Enfin.
Getting your paper published is really important for a researcher. Even if 20 people read it afterwards, it doesn't matter because research is made up of all these small, tiny discoveries featured in these articles. You don't show up alone in research with a brilliant idea. You have to rely on the other people and what's been done before you. And it's only by adding all these individual findings that you will build scientific knowledge.
C'est dur de faire partager cette excitation-là de la découverte. Parce que, essentiellement, les découvertes qu'on fait, elles sont très mineures. C'est des tout petits pas. Et donc, on a du mal à faire passer cette joie qui est quand même... Enfin, moi, j'aime beaucoup ce métier et puis je pense qu'il est formidable, mais c'est pas facile de raconter ça.